Hi, and welcome to Country Cooking and Living. I'm your host, Sarah. Today we are making a homemade butter from heavy whipping cream. And it's two easy ingredients: heavy whipping cream and salt. It will look like this when we are done. And it's simple and easy. This is something that I came up with yesterday after going to the store and realizing there wasn't much butter in the stores, and thought, why can't somebody teach somebody online how to make butter? So after talking to my husband, I decided that I'd be making homemade butter from heavy whipping cream. Take a pint of heavy whipping cream, or equals to 2 cups. You can get it at any local stores, and pour it into your mixer or food processor, or a chopper. I wouldn't do personally chopper. My favorite thing to use is my mixer. Measure out 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I always put it in straight away so that I don't have to add it later when mixing, folding and mixing. After that, put it down, start it, and this should take about 15 minutes on medium heat, speed of 4. While this mixes, we're going to go to a break. Hi, and welcome back to Country Cooking and Living. We're at the stage where it's starting to break down and become whipped cream for like making on pies and cakes and decorating. And I want to show you the process that it is at while it's doing its thing before it becomes churned into butter. As you can see, this is the whipped top stage. And as it churns and speeds, it's going to turn into it becoming churned into butter. It's not quite there, but it's getting there at this stage. When it starts to get to that stage, you're going to want to scrape the sides while the mixer's turned off, and then turn it back on once it's done being scraped on the sides. As you can see now, it's just about to the churning stage. It's starting to turn liquid and start to churn. As you can see around the sides, it's becoming more and more liquid and coming off the sides. We're going to take a break and we'll come back and I will show you the process of where it's basically churned into butter, and then the steps after what you will need to take. As you can see, this is the whipped top stage. And as it churns and speeds, it's going to turn into it becoming churned into butter. It's not quite there, but it's getting there at this stage. When it starts to get to that stage, you're going to want to scrape the sides while the mixer's turned off, and then turn it back on once it's done being scraped on the sides. As you can see now, it's just about to the churning stage. It's starting to turn liquid and start to churn. As you can see around the sides, it's becoming more and more liquid and coming off the sides. We're going to take a break and we'll come back and I will show you the process of where it's basically churned into butter, and then the steps after what you will need to take. Welcome back to Country Cooking and Living. Now that we've been mixing it, it is now at the churned butter stage. I put this over so that it would not spit out when the butter is being churned and it's separating from the heavy whipping cream, making it into butter and making it into buttermilk. And now we're about to strain it the first time, and squish it down and fold it and stuff to get all the liquid out, and then we'll do it again a second time, put it back in the mixer, churn it again, and then strain it again. and then I'll strain the buttermilk into the mixer to get the excess from that. I prefer to use one of these, but if you have one of these that has little tiny holes, I would use that. As you can see, there's buttermilk and there's butter. There's no added food coloring, no dyes. Now we're just going to scrape it off with the beaters. This is the easiest and simplest thing to do to make butter. And we're going to put this over one of these to strain butter from the buttermilk. This is the first straining. Now that I got all the buttermilk, let me put this right back up there. And we're going to squeeze it down. As you can see in here, there's buttermilk still coming out from the butter. Fold it. Fold it. And you can still hear and see that there's buttermilk still. Now we're going to put it back in. I just stab it. Put that in there. Put it back down. We're going to run this for like a minute or so, just to make sure that the excess buttermilk comes off, the highest speed. This will take out all the rest of the buttermilk that you can possibly get out, and it will also take to separate the butter more. It's supposed to sound like this, because it's the beaters mixing against the bowl and the butter being churned. About there. We'll do it again. Unlock it. See how it's more solid and soft looking? This has been softened. Actually, I think it's pretty good. It might not need a third mix. Defold it some more. And it looks like it's pretty good this time. Sometimes there's a third straining. Now if you're ready for it to go in, just get an airtight container and put it in. Get as much excess butter that you can. And always check the bottoms and the sides. Scrape it off your spoon or spatula or whatever you're using. And since this is buttermilk, we're going to strain buttermilk into this real quick, because there will always be a little bit of butter in there. Stir it a little bit. And you can still see that there is plenty of butter that just came out. See? Squeeze it down, make sure that the buttermilk's out. We save our buttermilk. We'll use it for biscuits, pancakes, and cold slaw. Just put it in a container and store it in the fridge until you do it. This should be good for a week or two in your fridge, if it even lasts that long. My house, it does not. As soon as it's made, it's usually used. And that's it. It's that simple. So, now you have fresh butter. And that's the end of the episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Love, faith, and hope, and have a good night.